In this video, we're going to just review using Statistic and using the normal curve on your calculator. Okay, and I'm going to show the work that's necessary on the AP exam, and we'll talk about what you type in then to your calculator to actually get your final answer. The height of golden retrievers is approximately normally distributed with a mean of 23.4 and a standard deviation of 2.1. So first question, what percentage of dogs are over 26 inches tall? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and label these as best I can. Here's number one. So here's the work you would put down. You draw a curve. You write that it's normal with the settings that the mean is 23.4 and the standard deviation is 2.1. Okay, so that's, you'd write that for, we're going to write that for every single one of these problems. Okay. What percent are over 26? So then you say, well, 26 would probably be somewhere up here. And I'm going to shade the part that is above. Okay? So that is the work that would be required. Now, like on free response questions, let me quick put in the picture here of what the calculator would look like. All right, so I put this in. Remember, you press second bars, and if you've forgotten where that is, maybe go back to the previous video. And we're doing a normal CDF. The PDF we really will never use in here. It has uses. It returns a Y value on the normal curve, the height of the curve at a point that you want, but we don't need that for our purposes. So we use the normal CDF. The first number is the lower bound, so 26. The next number is the upper bound. I put a large number, one with 99 zeros after it. And then the mean and the standard deviation got cut off. So lower bound, upper bound, mean, standard deviation. LUMS. Okay? And there it is. So it's 10.8%. All right, let's start the next problem. Number two, what percentage of dogs are under 21 inches? So draw my normal curve. Normal, 23.4, 2.1, and 21 will be somewhere down here, and shade. Okay, and let's show the work from the calculator. Okay, so here you can see normal CDF again, and the lower bound this time I put a -1 with that, so it's down here. The upper bound, mean, standard deviation, so 12.7%. All right, number three, what percentage of dogs are between 22 and 24? Okay, so number three, draw my curve, normal, 23.4, 2.1, and we'll put 22 and 24. Okay. All right, so here I just plopped this in. We got normal CDF. The lower bound was 22, the upper bound was 24, and of course mean and standard deviation. So we got 36%. Okay? Now, what values in the distribution are Q1 and Q3? Okay, I'm going to put this up here where I have a little bit of room, so number 4. So it's the same thing. It's still normal. Starts the same way, 23.4, 2.1, and we want to know Q1 and Q3. So I'm going to put Q1 and Q3. So these would be the two numbers that, of course, make up the interquartile range. Now, the interquartile range, remember, is the middle 50%. So we've got 25% or 0.25 that is below. And here, we got 0.75, okay? So in this case, we want an actual, in this case, height, okay, of a golden retriever. So it's not going to be a percentage or a proportion. It's going to be a height. For that, we use inverse norm, which is in that same VARS menu. Okay, so let me pull up that work. All right, so I use inverse norm, which is in that same menu, as I said. You're going to put the proportion below. Okay, that's the way the command works. So we had 25% below, or 0.25, mean standard deviation. So Q1 is 21.98 inches. Then I did the same thing, but now with 0.75 below, and 24.82 is inches is Q3. All right, let's finish with these last two. If Max is in the 90th percentile of all retrievers, okay, so this is number 5. So 90th percentile, remember, means that 90% of dogs are below Max. So we're looking for, again, a height. You could name it X. You could name it, the max or something like that. But we want 0.9 below. Okay. All right. So here's the calculator work for Max. So again, 90% below. So 0.9 mean standard deviation. So Max is 26.09 inches. Okay. All right, last. If Rex is taller than 30% of retrievers, okay, so normal, 23.4, 2.1, and 30% is are below him. So of course he's below average. Okay. Okay, here's the work for Rex on the calculator. So 30% below, 23.4. So Rex is 22.30 inches. Okay, so one last thing just before I close this video. Please remember, this is your work, okay? And I know it's, at this point we're just practicing this, so it feels tedious to write this same type of thing over and over again, that they all have a curve, that it's all normal with this distribution. You won't always be writing that it's normal. We have different distributions. And you won't always be doing a bunch of these in a row. But on the AP exam, this is your work because they recognize that you're probably going to use your calculator like this to actually calculate the numbers. But if it were a free response, this would be the work. So they know, if you made a mistake, where you went wrong.